All my adult life I wanted to achieve something in life. My parents weren't rich. We lived on a farm, there was a lot of work, but, unfortunately, there was not so much money. We did not live in poverty, but we did not bathe in gold either. My father constantly forced a future on the farm on me. But it wasn't exactly what I wanted. My father taught me a lot, I helped him in everything. But the father put too much personal work into this business, while not trying to somehow develop it. Hard and exhausting work took my father away quite early. And I stayed by myself on the farm with my mother. My plans for great opportunities in the big city vanished into backbreaking farm work. I stayed to help my mother. But I was not going to monotonously do the same work every day. Since I could not develop in a big city, I decided to develop here, locally. I had a burning desire to elevate my father's life's work to a new level. We still had a lot of territory where nothing grew. I slightly changed the crops that were more profitable to grow. I had to take out a loan to buy new equipment for cultivating the land and crops. But I was sure of my success. I found a profitable partner to whom I sold the harvest at a bargain price. In a few years, I increased my capital, hired more people, built several new hangars. My business was going well. My mother was happy that I could develop my father's business so well. After the end of the cleaning season, I decided to unwind. I went to a small town on the coast of the sea. There were great places here. This place was not particularly popular, as there were no large hotels and entertainment complexes. And now I like the silence. Quiet rest helped me to recuperate. I was sitting in a small bar by the sea. I drank whiskey, sitting on the terrace and peering into the distant evening sunset. The sun beautifully sank in the abyss of sea waters. Suddenly a girl came up to me. "Young man, can I meet you?" She asked me. "Why not?" "My name is Victor." I smiled in response to a beautiful tanned brunette with brown eyes. "Very nice, Victor, and my name is Melissa," she said shyly. "And I'm very pleased to meet you, Melissa. And what is such a beautiful girl doing in such a provincial town?" "I can ask you the same thing," Melissa replied with a smile. "Well, I like the local beauty, I like rest without noise and fuss. My father used to take me with my mother to this amazing place as a child, so I enjoy it," I answered. "Sure, yes, I understand you. And my whole life has passed here, I work in a local store, and in the evenings I like to come here." "I hope I didn't confuse you with my question, what are you doing here?" "No, what are you?" "Everything is fine. Are you from a big city?" "Look very confident, in very stylish clothes." "Thanks for noticing. But you will be surprised, I also come from a small provincial town, Berkeley, you know?" "Oh yes, my father worked there, you have many farmers in this place." "Yes, I have mastered my father's work." We sat on the terrace with Melissa until the bar closed. I took this charming brunette home. But the next day we saw each other again. This is how I met my future wife, with whom I had already been married for 23 years. We lived in a large private house on a farm. It was my parents' house, which I greatly expanded. Melissa didn't work anymore. I made pretty good money, so I could easily support myself with Melissa. We were fine, or at least I thought so. Once I accidentally found someone else's men's shirt in our house. "Melissa, come here." I called my wife. "What happened, dear?" she asked. "That's not my shirt." "What is she even doing in our house?" "Honey, what makes you think that this is not your shirt? You have a whole bunch of them." "I'm fine with my memory, it's definitely not my shirt. She's not even my size, she'd just crack on me." "Darling, then I myself don't know where this shirt came from in our house." Melissa answered, lowering her eyes. Honey, there's something you're not telling me. I asked suspiciously. Victor, why the hell are you bothering me with this shirt? Don't you see, I have so much work to do, and I still need to cook something for dinner. These are your things, and you know better where they come from. Melissa answered angrily and left the room. I didn't like Melissa's answer. She was clearly trying to get away from the conversation and uncomfortable questions, as if she was hiding something. But what could she be hiding? And whose shirt was it? Melissa also answered all my subsequent questions reluctantly. And I still couldn't calm down. I realized that I could not get the truth from Melissa. I started watching her more closely. Melissa's behavior bothered me. The obsessive suspicion of Melissa's betrayal made me take a desperate step. I decided to follow her. I told Melissa that I was leaving the city for 3 days. I needed to negotiate with a fertilizer supplier and conclude new contracts. But at this time I stayed in the city. I rented an inconspicuous car and began to watch our house. I felt awkward. I wasn't sure what I was doing right. Thoughts fought in my head. But I resigned myself to my decision and continued to observe. It was a day when Melissa had to be at home all day. She had a lot of housework, at least she told me so in the morning. And I sat in the car looking at the closed door of my house. It was inexorably hot. The air conditioner in the rented car was broken. The sweat had already permeated all my clothes. But I endured and stayed in the car so that no one would see me. Suddenly, after dinner, the door of my house opened. Melissa came out of the house, who hurriedly ran up and sat down next to a taxi that had arrived. I followed them. We stopped near some private house. A tall guy with a neatly trimmed beard came out of the house. He took Melissa by the arm and they entered the house. Then my patience snapped. In my head there was already a picture of Melissa fucking with this bastard. I jumped out of the car and ran to this house. I began to nervously drum on the door. No one opened it for me right away, and I did not wait. I sped up and kicked the door. In the room I saw this guy and Melissa. They were looking at some barbecue equipment. Victor? What the heck? What are you doing here? Frightened, asked Melissa. Why the hell did you break into my house? I'll call the police now. The frightened boy yelled. Melissa, what the hell are you doing here? I asked with a breath. I'm choosing a gift for Stephen. You forgot his birthday next week again? What else gift? I asked in confusion. Victor, are you out of your mind at all? Stephen, your best friend, it's his birthday next Wednesday, he invited us over. I came to the young man to look after the barbecue sets. He has them here at home. He has not yet had time to take them to the warehouse. So I agreed to take a look. Damn, I forgot that Stephen's birthday is coming soon. I answered. So are you really choosing a present here? I asked. Of course, what did you think? And what are you doing here anyway? You should be 1,000 miles away by now? Melissa asked irritably. Yes, I'm sorry. I'll send craftsmen to fix the door. I obviously didn't think so. Melissa and I returned home. Victor, can you explain to me what it was? Melissa asked. Darling, I just thought you were cheating on me. Are you serious? Is it all about that shirt? Yes, Melissa. I couldn't calm down. Here you are stupid, you have paranoia, Victor. Yes, excuse me. I bent the stick. Now my shoulder hurts because of the broken door. Wow. See the doctor tomorrow. I hope you've calmed down now. Yes, Melissa, I believe you. I felt terribly guilty in front of Melissa. My suspicions were not confirmed. I tried to put all my suspicions out of my head. Soon I really had to leave on business for a few days. I was going in a hurry, so I had to leave as soon as possible. I left by car. I had already driven several hundred miles and stopped to rest at a roadside cafe. I ordered a cup of strong coffee and started going through the documents in my briefcase. And in a friend, I discovered that I did not take all the contracts and documents. All because of the rush. I had to postpone the meeting with partners a bit in order to return for the documents. I got home quite late. While driving up to the house, I noticed that someone else's car was parked near the house. I cautiously got out of the car and slowly walked towards the house. The lights were on at home, so Melissa was definitely at home. As I approached the door, I heard the voices of the house. Melissa was clearly not alone. I opened the door as quietly as possible and went inside. The sounds came from our bedroom. I crept anxiously towards the bedroom. The door was slightly ajar. Through the gap I saw Melissa with Jacob. That bastard ran a farm next door. He always smiled at me and said hello when he saw me. At first I wanted to break in and make a scandal, but I decided not to repeat my mistake and restrained myself. I quietly walked into the hall and took a gun from the wall. The cartridges were in the chest of drawers. I loaded my gun and crept out of the bedroom again. Melissa, why are you so nervous today? Your husband is finally gone, you can calm down. Jacob said. Yes, but he obviously suspects something. Also your stupid shirt you forgot last time. I tried to explain to him that I have no idea where she came from, but, it seems, he did not believe me very much. Yes, calm down. Victor is a stupid bastard who will never understand anything. And I don't understand why you're still with him. Victor provides me with everything, and I want it to continue like this. Melissa replied. Yes, you can ride this idiot all your life. So do not worry. Now come to me, let's do it again. Jacob said, grabbing my wife by the ass and dug into her neck with his nasty mug. So who's the stupid bastard here, bitches? I shouted, bursting into the room and pointing a gun at a naked couple. Victor, what are you doing here? Melissa asked fearfully, pushing Jacob away and hiding her breasts in the blanket. Yes, I forgot something, I had to return, and apparently not in vain. So bitch, am I paranoid? You soulless creature, I knew it. And you had the audacity to lie to me so confidently all the time. Victor, I beg you, calm down, lower your gun, don't do anything stupid. Let's talk. Jacob got out of bed and slowly began to approach me, comforting me. Shut your mouth, scum. I said, sharply turned the gun and drove the butt right in the teeth of this bastard. Jacob collapsed to the floor, blood splattering across the floor. Dirty bitches. Right on our bed. Melissa, you are the last whore. How could you? Victor, I'm sorry. I'm to blame, you were always right. I did not want. Melissa began to make excuses. Melissa, don't justify yourself to that bastard. Victor, you knocked out my teeth, you bastard. You will pay me for this. I'll put you behind bars. Jacob chuckled. Oh, you bitch, are you going to threaten me in my house? Get more, you stupid bastard. I yelled and kicked Jacob in the stomach with all my might. Jacob writhed in pain and whimpered. Okay, bastards, I'll show you how to have fun. I said and forced these freaks to go out into the street. Victor, what are you thinking? Frightened Melissa asked in a trembling voice. You'll both love it. We're going for a walk. I got a rope, tied these bastards and tied them to my SUV. Now, bastards, let's ride. I shouted and rushed forward. Melissa and Jacob were knocked to the ground by the violent tug and I dragged them. I dragged these bastards through the territory where cattle were driven out during the daytime. It was dirt mixed with shit, just what these half-naked bastards needed. I spun around and the bastards rolled to the side. They were frightened trying to get to their feet, spitting shit out of their mouths. Now get out of my territory before I bury you in the same shit, I said and cut the rope. The bastards hurried out of my sight, flashing their heels. After that, I hurriedly threw all of Melissa's things out of the house. I had contacts in law enforcement. I found out a little about Jacob's farm. This bastard used illegal pesticides that poisoned the environment. He covered it up with fake papers to buy cheaper pesticides. Jacob did not have time to take revenge on me. I was much more agile. He did not even have time to come to his senses, as he got bogged down in the courts because of his illegal tricks. His farm soon closed and I never saw the bastard again. He was full of debts and disappeared. But with Melissa I divorced successfully. I originally signed a prenuptial agreement. So this bitch got nothing. I returned to my normal life, but I was no longer in a hurry to start a new relationship. I liked life without a lying wife. I have finally found peace.